pull off the perfect heist, you need 4 things: a target, a crew, a plan, and a getaway. This is the story of one such heist that took place from 2017 to 2022. Sam Bankman and one of his henchmen are now doing time for stealing billions to fund decadent lifestyles and bankroll political campaigns. But there's much about the case that still doesn't make sense. FTX may have been the perfect Bitcoin heist, but to tell the story properly, we're going to have to rewind. The year is 2009. The site is the smoldering economic wreckage of the global financial crisis. People are losing their homes, their retirements, their families, and even taking their own lives. Meanwhile, the people responsible for this economic devastation are being bailed out and richly compensated for their failure. Hope springs eternal, though. On an obscure corner of the internet, the Bitcoin protocol was released, promising a financial system that was fully digital with all the benefits of cash. If everything went according to plan, you'd never have to trust a shady bank or a compromised financial regulator again. Bitcoin promised to be a currency by the people and for the people, a currency that banks and governments couldn't control, inflate, or confiscate. As time went by, Bitcoin started gaining value. In 2010, the first online exchanges opened, allowing people to trade government money for Bitcoin. By October 21st, 2017, the Bitcoin market was valued at just over $100 billion. Now that is a target. Every heist needs a crew, and this is the part where things really start to get interesting. You've no doubt already heard of little Sammy Bankman Fried and his handler, Caroline Ellison. But hold up. This isn't a Disney film about a boy and an old man flying a house with helium-filled balloons to South America where they take down a childhood hero who turns out to be a villain. I'm not going to insult your intelligence and claim that an orgy house of sexed-up 20-somethings with amphetamine addictions managed to pull a fast one on the entire financial industry because of regulatory breakdown. Things start to get really spicy once we get to Gary Gensler. He's currently the head of the SEC and has been reported to have had personal contact with Sammy Bankman, and perhaps was even telling little Sammy how to conduct his business. Before becoming SEC chairman, Gary worked as CFO for Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign. After that, he became a professor at MIT, which just happens to be little Sammy and Miss Caroline's alma mater. At MIT, he reported directly to Joey Ito, the head of the MIT Media Lab, who never obtained a college degree but was close friends with Timothy Leary of the electric Kool-Aid acid test fame. More importantly, Joey was a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, that Jeffrey Epstein. Old Jeffrey and his friends in the intelligence community just may turn out to be the brains behind this whole operation. But Epstein is dead, right? While Epstein may or may not have killed himself in 2019, when FTX and Alameda got started in 2017, that old dog was very much out and about doing whatever he fancied. Jeffrey is reported to have said that his fortune originated from foreign exchange trading, a story not too different from little Sammy's shady origin story. Jeffrey and his friend Ghislaine would have had the leverage to send Sammy on a media blitzkrieg that even money wouldn't buy, with A-plus listers like Bill Clinton. Now, I know a lot of people who spend too much time on Reddit are rolling their eyes and pulling out razors right now, so let's get to the most important razor. What's the most reasonable explanation? That some goofy kids managed to be closely tied to agents of government and intelligence, then they scammed the whole Western world out of an enormous sum of money that they just happened to donate to candidates for public office? Or that it's a matter of US national security that people everywhere want and use US dollars to conduct their business? These kids didn't just steal billions from ordinary people, they stole from the very wealthy too.
You are fired.
And only 2 of these crooks are in jail right now. Sammy went so far as to buy a stake in a traditional bank, giving himself access to the power of fractional reserve banking. I have no doubt that little Sammy would follow in the footsteps of Mr. Epstein if he was to start squealing, but there's so much that's strange about this case. They were running all sorts of shady scams, basically playing poker while being able to see everyone else's cards and printing themselves unlimited buy-ins. But due to the recent crypto rally, they're going to be able to make all their creditors whole, and US dollar valuation of their assets at the time of the crypto crash of 2022. Somebody walked away with a lot of resources from this whole deal. But what if money wasn't even the real heist here?
Surprise!
Remember that digital currency called Bitcoin? The crazy thing is that it works. It has some flaws, but it has basically fulfilled the promise of allowing people to circumvent banks and corrupt government-enabled monopolies, as long as you use it correctly. When people trust a company like FTX to hold their Bitcoin, it's a lot like trusting a bank to invest your savings in subprime mortgages. Every time an exchange goes under and people get burned by entities claiming to represent Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, the heist takes place again. People lose faith in the fulfilled promise of Bitcoin. They cry out for government regulators to come and tell them what they can and can't do with their money. Little Sammy is appealing his conviction, and we've no news about his harem, but the New York Federal Reserve Bank has piloted a central bank-issued crypto dollar. It's like Bitcoin, except you have to keep trusting bankers and government regulators. In fact, it's even better than Bitcoin because it can allow whoever issues the currency to program where and how you can spend your digitally issued dollars. You want to buy a new car with your savings? Sorry. For the next few months, your dollars are eligible only to buy food and US treasuries. War is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength after all. It seems like a pretty safe bet that the actual masterminds behind this heist are driving off into the sunset at this very moment.